Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia Armendariz, and today I'm going to be talking about things to do here in Colorado Springs, the north side versus the south side of town. And I just want to say that there are hundreds of things to do here in town. The majority of them are outdoorsy, but this video is going to focus more on kind of those commercial things, a couple of franchises or just things that require paid admission. So if you guys have any questions though over anything that I mentioned here today, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you with any of your real estate needs. I am a real estate broker here in the state of Colorado. And if you just have any questions in general, feel free to reach out also. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button and bell, please do that also because it helps my channel and helps people like you find information just like this. So without further ado, let's get into it. So to begin, I'm going to talk about the north side of town, and this is actually going to be more the northeast side of town, but this is going to be off of this is going to be off of Interstate I-25 and either that Interquest exit or either that north gate. We've just had a lot of growth and a lot of new build out there, people wanting to live out there, so obviously they needed to build, restaurants and retail and entertainment. So one of my favorite spots to actually go to, and I know a lot of people go, is called the Summit. The Summit is kind of an all-in-one, I don't want to say kids place, but it is a hangout for maybe a younger crowd. Inside it has a bowling alley, it has an arcade game, it has laser tag. It does have a restaurant and full service bar, but I would say the majority of the people there are teens and younger or family with their kids there. The bowling alley does have neon bowling in the evenings and also has league play on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe. They do have happy hour for everything. They have happy hour on food, drinks, the bowling, and then also certain arcade games and that laser tag. So definitely something fun to look into. Then down the street, we're going to say is the Overdrive facility. And the Overdrive is a indoor race kart facility. It is 2 levels. Downstairs is for the little bit slower karts that go about maybe 20 miles per hour, and the upper level is for the faster karts. I'm going to call it the adult section, but it's not. Kids and teens can go in there too. Those race karts though, on the upper level, they do get to around 40 to 45 miles an hour, and that upper level does have a full service bar. So you can do your races, enjoy a drink, hang out with the family. It's a great place if you want to do corporate events, birthday parties. The way the facility works is that you get to race around the track, and you get 12 laps, and whoever can just get 12 laps in the quickest kind of wins. You can even kind of race yourself, just against the clock. But in my opinion, it is a little pricey because you're paying per race, and they do have different packages, but it could be anywhere from $25 to $50. And like I said, that just kind of depends on your package and if you have a group rate and whatnot. So something new to Colorado Springs, but not new in general. We did just get a Top Golf. There is a Top Golf on the north side of town, and it's only been open since this year, 2021. And we've just had a lot of people go because it is super fun. The one here in Colorado Springs does have 70 bays, and if you don't know what Top Golf is, it's kind of just like a driving range on different levels, and it has different games that you can kind of punch into a computer. You can either get out there and just smack the ball to see how far you hit it, or you can actually play off of the suggested games where you have to hit the ball into a certain hole or a certain area, certain color. They have color rings around each of the flags that are different distances from your mat that you're hitting off of, but it's really good fun. Top Golf has become very popular across the whole United States, and we do now have a facility here on the north side of Springs, so that's always a good time. A lot of people there because it is still new, and on average right now, I think what time you go depends on your rate. Obviously, if you go in the morning when people are usually at work and school, you're going to get a better rate compared if you go in the evening time, but anywhere could cost you between $27 an hour up to $50 an hour. So depends on your group size. It's definitely better to go with the group and split that cost. Topgolf is also a great place if you want to have, again, a birthday party, a corporate event. I do know they offer corporate packages and discounts. So that's a great place to entertain clients and what have you. And then next I'm gonna say is iFly. iFly is a indoor skydiving facility. They're kind of all over the US, not everywhere, but we do have one in Denver and now we have one in Colorado Springs. It is opening up actually in the next, I believe, 2 months. It's not even open right now, so probably by the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, we're going to have an iFly. And that is just, like I said, an indoor skydiving experience. You are put into a very large cylinder that has a lot of airflow, and you get to fly, I believe, for 60 seconds. And again, the price on that varies on how many times you want to fly or how many packages you have, or if you're there on a family rate, a birthday rate, a corporate rate. They do have a variety of prices. Best is just to get on the website and look for yourself, kind of see what fits for you. You can go and just watch. You don't have to actually get in the tube and skydive per se. You can just go and watch kiddos or friends or what have you. So that is something that is new here to Colorado Springs. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I myself have never done it, but I have lived close to another iFly before, and it was always busy, always packed, and I always heard good things about it. Then in that same area of InterQuest, you're going to have just a typical Hollywood movie theater. It's just a big old movie theater. They serve popcorn and drinks, I believe alcoholic drinks. They do have a regular movie theater viewing, typical movie theater settings, and then they do have an IMAX. They also have the reclining chairs, so that's always something good. And I do like that the COVID restrictions here have been lifting this summer and fall of 2021, so I have myself been enjoying going back to the movie theaters and doing all that. Another thing that we have kind of all over Colorado Springs are rock climbing facilities, but one in particular up north is Gripstone. And Gripstone is a indoor rock climbing facility that offers classes to beginners, intermediates, and advanced if you would like them. Usually it costs about $10 to $80 depending on your advanced level and if you need to rent any equipment. That is something that I know a lot of people here in Colorado Springs are really getting into, either to get that experience and then go out and actually climb real rocks, or just to get together with friends and do team building exercises and what have you. Also up north, something that is fun for everyone is we have a Great Wolf Lodge. And I don't know if you guys know what that is. They are kind of a national chain, but the Great Wolf Lodge is just that. It's lodging, kind of targeted towards a family experience or more so even like a kid experience. It's best known for having an indoor water park. And it has, it's a large water park with a lazy river, a wave pool. It has like this tree house water thing that squirts out. It is a very large facility, and the whole hotel itself is kind of targeted towards that kid interaction. They do throughout the hotel have some other areas like a story time or an arts and crafts section. A lot of the rooms are themed, not kiddie per se, but they are just themed rooms. They actually just changed the policy to where you don't need to be a guest of the hotel to actually attend the water park. You now can jump on their website and get day passes for you and your family just to go enjoy the water park and the whole hotel for what it has to offer. I think right now, depending on your family package or how many people you have in your group, it's going to be about $30 a person per day pass. But that's a lot better because, like I said before, it wasn't even open to non-hotel guests. So I would definitely go check out the Great Wolf Lodge if you've never been. And last but not least, up north, one of my favorite spots, kind of I think is a good spot for a lot of people. We have the Fox Run Regional Park, but more so we have the Fox Run Off-Leash Dog Park. I'm a dog lover. I love taking my dog everywhere with me, but that is a really awesome off-leash dog park. It's very forested. It has a lot of trees, a lot of shade, and it's about 5 acres fenced in. The park itself has about 4 miles of walking trails that you can, check out all the big pine trees that we have here. There's a lake and a gazebo and area for the kids to play and what have you. It's just a really nice park that's kind of tucked away on the upper northeast side of town, which is kind of a spot that's flat, but then also starting to get into a lot of forestry. So Fox Run, off-leash dog park, I've been there several times. A lot of nice people. People have obedient dogs. They pick up the poop. It's just a good, safe park. And I do feel like overall the park itself is just a place that a lot of people go and they hang out. Now let's shoot down to the south side of Colorado Springs. Things to do on the south side of Colorado Springs. First off, I'm gonna say is the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. We have one of the coolest zoos in the country. It actually sits on the edge of Cheyenne Mountain, and Cheyenne Mountain overlooks the city. If you're at the zoo, all the exhibits, the gorilla, the giraffes, the elephants, overlook the city. It's really cool because you get to see all of these kind of like wild animals, especially the African exhibits are posted up and included with a lot of pine trees and forestry. And so I know that's just not something that they see in their natural habitat, but it looks really cool to see them on the side of the mountain in their large enclosures, and then also have that gorgeous view of Colorado Springs. The zoo also has a carousel inside and a chairlift that'll take you over the zoo itself and up and down Cheyenne Mountain. It also has a restaurant inside, and they're really good about doing a lot of events and promotional days for kiddos and military and what have you. So the next 3 things on this list are going to be part of the Broadmoor company, not necessarily the Broadmoor Hotel itself. You don't need to be a guest of the Broadmoor. You just do your booking through the Broadmoor website. They are, like I said, just partnered with the Broadmoor, and these next items kind of just coincide. They're very close to each other. Like I said, you can just book everything through the Broadmoor website. But I'm going to say is the zip lining. The Broadmoor Adventures offers 2 different courses, and they have about 10 different zip lines that you can do between the 2 courses. Everything that range from 300 feet to 1,800 feet of zip lining. There are several bridges you have to cross, and some hiking you have to do, and some climbing of some trees that you can do. But the zip lining itself actually can be seen over the Broadmoor Resort itself. It also sits on Cheyenne Mountain, so as you are up there ziplining and climbing and whatnot, you also are going to have those great views of the city, and then also those great views of the zoo and the Broadmoor Resort itself. I would say on average, depending on which package you choose, like I said, they do have 2 courses, and the courses vary in price, I think because they depend on skill level also, but I would expect to pay between like $150 to $300. You can actually purchase the 2 and do together, and I believe you do get a discount, but on average you're going to have to pay about $100 to a little more than that, depending how many people are in your group and which course you decide to do. And if you don't want to zip line, or if you are ziplining and you look down and you see the 7 Falls, you got to go check out the 7 Falls. The 7 Falls is also part of the Broadmoor community. You can go online to the Broadmoor website, get some tickets. The 7 Falls is where the stream kind of falls down into a canyon, and the way that it hits the rocks, it kind of ricochets and does like this 7 falls down to the bottom where it reconnects with the river that runs here in Cheyenne Mountain. At the bottom there is also a restaurant. I believe it's still closed due to COVID, but they do have a restaurant called 1886. I don't know when that's going to open, but I'm hoping soon. 7 Falls though is open to the public. You can either go and just take pictures and admire the beauty and the awe that is 7 Falls, or you can actually climb to the top. It's 224 steps all the way to the top, where you can have even more views of, like I said, the water itself, the city, pretty much from everywhere on Cheyenne Mountain. Whether you're at the zoo or the zip lining or 7 Falls, you're gonna have great views of the mountain itself and then the city. And one of the other Broadmoor adventures is the cog rail. The cog rail was around for a while and they pulled it off. I'm not even sure why, but they spent all this money and time now reconstructing it, and the cog rail is actually back and up in action. It is a train that will take you up to the summit of Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak is just over 14,000 feet. Colorado Springs itself sits at the very base of Pikes Peak, so I definitely recommend if you are ever visiting here or choose to live here, you definitely want to check out the top of Pikes Peak, and you can take the cog rail train up to the top. Round trip, it's about 3.5 hours. You do have the option though, once you get to the top, to either hike down or bike down. If you want to bike, you can just, let the people know when you're getting on, like, hey, I need to put my bike somewhere, and they have a place for you to store that. But when you do get to the top, you will be allowed 40 minutes to get out and explore and look around and take pictures. There is a new visitor center at the top with a gift shop and their famous bakery. The bakery is known for having these amazing donuts. And part of the reason that it is so famous, not only for the taste of the donuts, but it's the way that they are baked. They have some type of special recipe and ingredients to make the donuts rise and fluff up because they are at such high elevation. I know that they were actually on the Food Network once for like just having these amazing donuts at 14,000 feet. And whether you decide to hike down Pikes Peak or bike down, or maybe you just one day want to take advantage of Pikes Peak itself, Bar Trail is going to be one of the ways that you get up to Pikes Peak. And Pikes Peak is such a famous mountain because it is one of our 14ers here in Colorado. Colorado has 52 mountains over 14,000 feet. And so we have many natives and actually many world travelers come and they try and, check off the list of how many 14ers can they climb. A lot of the 14ers here in state they're kind of a drive away. It's kind of an all day thing to get up and go drive and then hike. So the perk about Pikes Peak is that literally Colorado Springs at the base of it. It's a quick drive right there. So you might as well take advantage if you're living or visiting here to hike Pikes Peak and check that 14er off your list. Bar Trail is going to be the trail that you take up and down. You can do it in about a day. It'll take you, depending on how in shape you are and how well you do with elevation, anywhere from 6 hours to even 12 hours. The hike itself has some easy spots, but overall I would say you want to be kind of an advanced hiker or at least in really good shape. And then also on the south side, we do have a Tinseltown movie theater. Nothing too special about it. It's a good movie theater. It's a clean movie theater. They show all the new movies that are coming out. They do have reclining seats. They do have a bar, a couple of arcade games. Basic movie theater, but we do have one nearby here on the south side. It's clean. You can get in and out easily. I like it, so it made the list. Also down here, we have another indoor rock climbing facility, but this one is a little bit more well-known. There's a few more of these facilities throughout the town, but I really like the south location one, and that is City Rock Climbing. City Rock inside has a variety of things to do and not just rock climb. They offer fitness classes, they offer yoga classes, they offer classes to kiddos and teenagers and adults for climbing. They have an indoor cave simulation for the kiddos. And they also inside have a restaurant and full bar. The bar itself can actually just be accessed by anyone. You don't need to be climbing that day or have bought a pass that day to get into the climbing facility. You can just go check out Utes and Yeti is the name of the bar, and they are known for having craft beer here in town. So I think that's a great option if you want to drop off your kiddos and have them climb. You can sit back with the beer and watch them, or even just after a long day with friends or a team building group of climbing, you want to go have some food and eat. There you go, you're right there. So City Rock is definitely one of my preferred indoor climbing facilities that we have here in town. And last but not least, one of my favorite dog parks here in town, whether you're on the north end or the south end, but here on the south side of town, we do have the Bear Creek Regional Park, but more so we have the Bear Creek Off-Leash Dog Park. This is a 25-acre park. It is beautiful. Half of it is kind of flat with some trails. You can easily throw a ball around or just walk with your friends, family, and dog, or they have a very kind of wooded area with a creek that runs through it, and in summer times the dogs just love it. It's such a nice way for them to cool off. It's very pretty if you just want to sit there yourself and watch the dogs play. Everyone who goes there is pretty nice. I've met a lot of other people that have Australian Shepherds like myself, and we hit it off. Our dogs play well. People pick up the poop for the most part. There is a Facebook group that people stay pretty active in and list things and recommendations and what have you. The Off-Leash Dog Park also has a agility course inside that's kind of fenced off, so you want to work on your dog's agility, you can go in there by all means. It does have public restrooms. It has a little wash area for your dog if they do get muddy in the creek, and just several water fountains throughout. One of the other things that I really like about this dog park, it does have a sectioned off part that's about 2 acres, and that is just for small dogs or senior dogs. So I definitely took my dog there when she was a puppy and like we were getting into the dog park thing, and I didn't want her to be bombarded by big dogs. So I really do like that they have that separation with the small dog and senior section. I do know I see a lot of dogs in there that look very happy, that are kind of just doing their own thing at their own pace. So Bear Creek Dog Park, definitely one of my favorite parks, has a lot to offer. Also sits at the base of Cheyenne Mountain, so great views of the mountains while you're walking your dog. I would definitely check out that dog park. Well, there you go, guys. Like I said, there are hundreds of things to do here in Colorado Springs. I didn't even mention half of them. Mostly are outdoor, but like I said, these are gonna be mostly the things that you find that are commercial-wise, that you would call up a buddy, call up a friend, and be like, hey guys, let's go do this. So if you guys have any question over anything that I mentioned today, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to answer your questions. And also, again, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and that bell to get notified when I make new videos each week. And until then, you guys have a good one.